Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back at it again with some more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 news and updates here on the channel, guys. We have a little bit of extra info that was given to us by Louis, or Louis. I do apologize if I am not saying the name right, but shout out to them. They have been a pretty good source so far when it comes to leaks for the game or just information. Keep in mind, as always, like I've said in the past, for anything related to Xenoverse 3 so far, take what is said with a grain of salt. We don't know. We do not know any of this, if it's true or not. You know, even though these are sources that are coming out and saying things that have gotten some stuff right so far, again, we're gonna wait for official reveals and official confirmations, okay, over anything. So this is just cool, it's interesting, and I wanted to talk about it. So there are at least 3 new important characters left, created 100% by Akira Toriyama, who haven't been revealed yet for the video game. Can't wait to see what they look like. So we already know one of them is John 1000, right? I don't know if they're saying if it's in addition to this one. I'm assuming they're saying that there are 3 other ones that they haven't shown yet. That's, you know, not related to this one. So John 1000 is just its own separate thing, the only character that we know so far, right? And again, this is Project Age 1000. This is the same thing that we're talking about, okay? If we're to believe that all of this is going to be Xenoverse 3, okay? So the other one, I would assume, has to be this Goku-looking character, which probably isn't Goku, right? It could be. Maybe this is Xeno Goku, right? If you guys don't know who Xeno Goku is, that's from Dragon Ball Heroes, if I recall correctly. I don't think that was a character in Dragon Ball Online. I think they made Xeno Goku a version in Heroes first. Like, that was the initial debut. Same thing with Xeno Vegeta. I think Xeno Trunks was from DB Online. I think that is correct, okay? But yeah, this definitely is some new Goku-looking character. You can absolutely see it from the outfit. The outfit is not the standard Turtle Hermit Gi that Goku normally wears. This is a little bit different. There was a part in the trailer, which I don't have an image of it, but whenever John 1000 turns around, you see a character's leg and foot, and I'm pretty sure it's this character right here, okay? So yeah, I don't know. Is it Goku Jr.? Is this Goten? I mean, that wouldn't make any sense. Again, this is several years in the future, right? If they're saying age 1000, that's at least at minimum 200 to 300 years, right, into the future. So a lot of these characters are dead, okay? Unless this is a character that's from a different timeline and is coming, you know, back in. So maybe this is Goku, and he's just wearing a different outfit just to give it a new design, obviously to, you know, have something different for the video game, to sell merchandise probably in the future and stuff, obviously to sell the character in a sense. So yeah, this isn't the first time that a Dragon Ball game has created original characters, right? We know that they stated in some of the other, not even leaks, these were official reveals from the producer, and I think whoever was at the Genki Damatsuri event, they were talking about how there are lots of new characters that are going to be in this game, right? Not just like, you know, characters that we've seen before. So again, maybe this isn't one of the characters. I'm just assuming it is if it's not Goku, okay? Y'all let me know down in the comments. This is definitely not Goku Black. You can see it from, you know, the facial features. Goku Black does not have that calmer look. This looks exactly like Goku, it's just the outfit that's different, right? So, Dragon Ball Online. Okay, let's use this as a foundation because there's no fucking way we can guess who these characters are going to be because they're original characters, new characters by Akira Toriyama, right? I mean, at least from what is stated there. But we can use Dragon Ball Online and even Heroes as just examples of what original new characters are like, you know, when it comes to like how crazy they can get, right? So these are just a few of them in Dragon Ball Online that are characters that you play as, like player characters. So you have like the I think they call him Nylon. Is that his name? I don't remember. But yeah, you have like the Earthling / Saiyan or whatever. You have a Namekian, and then you have like another Earthling girl. So those are just like some designs that they can do. You know, Xenoverse has done unique designs for characters and stuff, and there are original characters in the Xenoverse series as well, right? And, you know, they're obviously taken from, like, Heroes or even Dragon Ball Online initially. And again, Heroes does, stuff at the same time. So it's like, you can't really say it's exactly from Heroes, but there are things that are from Heroes in a sense, right? Here's a look at, I think it's the same character, the Nylon guy. Is that his name? Again, I don't know what the name of this dude was. I forgot. Yeah, Super Saiyan, okay? Now, something interesting that I don't know if I mentioned this in my previous videos, but because Dragon Ball Online takes place so far into the future in, like, the Age 1000 era and stuff, there are Earthlings, okay? There are characters that are basically, like, there are so many characters in the series that have Saiyan blood because, characters, mixed together and everything, right? There are Saiyans that are, doing it with Earthlings and other races, right? So you're gonna get eventually a little bit of Saiyan blood mixed into so many of these other characters, and even though a majority of their DNA is probably an Earthling, for example, they're gonna have like that 1% DNA of Saiyan blood, which would still allow them to be able to transform into a Super Saiyan, which is the coolest thing about Saiyans, right? You can have like such a small amount of Saiyan DNA in your blood and still be able to achieve this transformation and even go further beyond. Like, I think that's awesome as fuck, but I'm just showing this because I thought it was cool and I really like the art for this. I think it looks nice. Kind of reminds me, I don't know if Akira Toriyama did the art for this one, but it looks very Toriyama-esque with how the eyes, Toriyama's more modern style makes like the eye shape, even though it's like the, I guess the Super Saiyan eye design or whatever, it's a little bit rounded on the corners, so I like that. Again, major examples of new original characters that have come to the series. Few is a big one, same thing with Mira and Toa. Even though those, I believe, were characters from Dragon Ball Online first, they are still original, okay? They're not seen really in too many other, parts of, I mean, definitely not in an anime unless it's Dragon Ball Heroes, but we've seen them have like cameos and things in like Kakarot, for example, which I still think is an insane addition to that game. I still cannot believe, I think that's got to be one of the craziest things next to Gohan Black that they've ever done. Like putting Mira and Toa in Kakarot is so random, dude. It's so random and it's crazy because it just goes to show that Kakarot is actually connected to the Xenoverse series, but I digress. I'm going off topic, but yeah, few huge major character, and one of the three that they're actually talking about, I personally believe one of them has to be the antagonist or the main villain, right? It's got to be. But again, there are going to be a lot of other characters that are going to be shown. Hearts, another original character of the series, very cool character. I think a lot of people, when it comes to Dragon Ball Heroes, I think a lot of people like this guy because he, he's got a unique design. He becomes a major villain in the series. Again, it's Dragon Ball Heroes, so you don't have to look too deep into it. But I think he was a pretty good villain, for a promotional anime. I wasn't expecting them to go this hard on a villain. Like, usually they're just kind of like one note, fucking shallow as hell. Not saying that he was like an amazing villain, but like for a promotional anime, like pretty good, right? And then some other examples, Kamin and Orin. These are Tuffles, right? This is a race that already exists in the Dragon Ball series, right? But they are, new unique characters. They're basically like Android 17 and 18 if they were Tuffles. That's basically what these guys are, right? So yeah, just some cool designs, new looks at characters, new original designs and stuff. I'm always going to be a huge fan of that. Same thing with, with Dragon Ball Daima, we had Glorio and Pansy, for example, as like new original characters. So Toriyama, he's always cooking, right? He's always cooking. And, eventually it gets to the point where a lot of these characters, they're going to have similarities to other characters or remind you of other characters, like how Glorio is basically like Mira in a sense, right? In terms of design, because Akira Toriyama he's done so many, right? He's created so many characters, and even just not him, but like just Dragon Ball in general has so many characters. It's got to be one of the biggest, universes / multiverses of all time when it comes to a series, right? So they're gonna eventually be characters that don't really look all that special or original, but like a character like Hearts, for example, or even Kamin and Orin, have some pretty cool original designs. Even Fuse got a really cool original design. Like, Bro's got like the purple skin, the glasses, and the undercut ponytail, you know, thing that he's got going on. Like, that's a cool design. So like sometimes we'll see unique ones. Even John 1000 is a pretty unique looking character for the most part. I mean, he looks like Chilai, right, with like Glorio's eye shape, but I mean, you know, he's not like, he doesn't have green skin or anything. And you know, he's got the earrings, which I think is a really cool you know, touch on him. And then you have the Great Saiyaman, like slimmer, you know, new futuristic look. So yeah, I think Toriyama definitely cooked with this character. He genuinely has a very cool looking design. Like when I first saw him for the first time, he did look like a custom character, but custom characters can look cool, right? But again, we don't know if he's going to be a CAC or not. We have no idea. I just really wanted to talk about this because it's exciting to know, again, that we are getting, you know, not only just original characters, which is to be expected, but these are created by Akira Toriyama, right? These are his creation. For a lot of the stuff in Xenoverse, even some of the characters that you play as far as I know, those designs, I'm pretty sure, were probably by just like dimps, right? Or even like, I don't know if Toei had any hand in it. But yeah, a lot of the stuff in these previous games, you know, the involvement from Toriyama wasn't really there. And it's been heavily stated that he was heavily involved, right, in this game specifically. So this might be a really, really cool one. But yeah, y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions. What characters or new races or other just like, you know, races that exist in the series do you think will be part of this as these 3 new important characters? That's another key word, okay? They're important. They're not just side characters, you know, in a sense, like not just like NPCs, for example, right? Obviously, we might not play as them. Who knows? There's so much about this that we don't know. It's exciting, man. It's exciting.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.